As I mentioned in the first video, I decided to go ahead and just buy a new motor for this thing. I kept the original one that's out in the shed. I'll probably put that in a go-kart or something later on, but for now, we've got a brand new motor. I was hoping it would come like in a factory box or something along those lines, because the seller had multiple of these on eBay. But you can see, it's just a plain old box that he shoved it in, and we've got a little bit of shipping damage here. Hopefully the motor inside's fine. From what I've explored, it looks okay. Let's go ahead and open it and see what it looks like. It's really not the fault of the post office that there's a hole in the thing. I mean, this kind of thing is not meant to be just put in a cardboard box and shipped. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully there's no actual damage to the motor itself, but that is yet to be seen. Well, we've got some styrofoam around it. Okay, that was the side of the motor that punched the hole in the box. Let's pull the motor out. And here it is. A 10-horse Tecumseh that I paid $140 for. Brand new, never been used, 140 bucks. The other one had low compression, it had no spark, the carburetor needed rebuilt, and I thought by the time I do all that work and put, you know, money into it, for 140 bucks I can have a brand new motor on a stump grinder that will just start, you know? Just pull the cord over, it's gonna start. I can load it out to somebody, they won't have to fart around with trying to get it to start. And I think it's gonna be a good unit. The reason why it was so cheap is because it has a tapered shaft on it. So by tapered shaft, I mean the end of it comes to a point. It's not the same diameter the whole way. A lot of times these are like 3/4 or 1 inch diameter, whereas this one tapers to a point on the end. This was made for like a pressure washer or probably a generator, something along those lines. The end is still threaded where you could run a bolt in there or something, but it does not have a keyway, nothing. It's just a smooth shaft with a taper. It's new old stock. This is a motor that was produced, you know, who knows when, for a generator or whatnot, was never used and has been sitting on a shelf ever since. And you know, when Tecumseh went out of business, these things flew off the shelves. You know, everybody bought up the remaining ones, but then you get these oddballs that people just don't want because they don't know how to use them. Well, fortunately for us, we've got enough straight shaft here. We can use this. I'm going to show you how. And I might go ahead and lop off this tapered shaft portion, or I might leave it on, I don't know yet. But either way, I'm gonna look around some more. Ah, crap. Look at this right here. Maybe I can get a deal on this motor. The intake's broke. Son of a gun. Ah, yep, there's our shipping damage, because this is the side that was hit right here. So I went ahead and removed this cover here to visually inspect the rest of this area. And there's absolutely nothing else wrong with it other than this one crack right here in the intake. So after deciding there was nothing else wrong with this motor, I contacted the seller and told him what the deal was, and he said, well, how about I just send you an intake? And lo and behold, here we go. A couple days later, this showed up in the mail. Brand new intake. All right, I've got the bolt holes marked. I set the motor on here. I think this is where I want to put it. So what I'm going to do is this steel plate right here. This was originally underneath this red pan here, I guess like a stiffener plate to help secure the motor. So what I'm going to do is pull the motor off, set that plate on here and use it as a template to drill the 4 holes. And that'll also help me square the motor up, because I can, you know, perfectly align that steel plate with the side of this and make sure it's all nice and true. Alright, I got the transfer punches out here, and the way they work is you find the one that's the same size as the bolt hole you're trying to mark, and you can see they've got these little needle points on them. Then you go over to whatever you're trying to transfer, and since this is the exact same diameter as that, when I smack it with the hammer, it will put a center punch mark dead center in all 4 of these holes, and I can perfectly transfer the dimensions of this to the plate below it. I'm going to drill these holes at 5/16, which will be the 3rd step on the drill here. By taller, look at the difference in the steps here. This one has a lot more steps that are shorter, and this has a lot fewer that are taller. So this enables you to drill through thicker metal before hitting the next size, which is what we're gonna need for this. It's a little too thick for that other drill. For a second, we're almost, actually, there we go. We are 5/16 right there. Go, and it's that easy. I love step drills. If you haven't used these things, you should try them out. They are a huge time saver. We've got 4 bolts stuck in the holes. Let's see if it drops on there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. All 4 bolts are all the way down. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it right here and wrap this one up. I know I didn't get a ton done. We got the motor bolted up and that was about it. I do need to source a fuel tank still for it. Probably going to mount it up in this area. I might do something with the throttle. I'm not for sure on that just yet. But really until I get the cutter head done, I can't start building the framework for that. I guess I could, but it's going to be easier when I have a finished cutter head and I know exactly what the dimensions of that will be. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Stick around for the rest of this build. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.